Is it on? Okay, so Lover is doing the videoing for me today. Maybe you could show what I have here, Lover. So this is our Norwalk Juicer. See the Norwalk symbol right here?
Our Miracle Norwalk Juicer.
Yeah, it's a miracle that we got this. I'm making carrot, apple, ginger juice today. And what you do is you first use this side and you grind it. And then after you grind it, you wrap it up into these little packets and you do the second part, which is with this hydraulic press, and press the juice out. And I have always wanted one of these Norwalk juicers. I first read about Norman Walker, Dr. Norman Walker, when I was in my 20s, about juicing. And I always said, when I was in my 20s, I said, if I ever got really sick and had cancer, then I would juice. And then, of course, I've been interested in juicing for decades, like 40 years. And I've had really nice juicers. We actually moved to Oregon with our Tri-Best juicer, which I also think is a very good juicer. But the problem with the Tri-Best juicer is that I had to really do a lot of straining in order to get all of the little pieces out. I had to put it through lots of sieves. But because this one is in these little packets here, you don't have to do that. It's work, of course, to use this grinder. First you cut everything up, then you use the grinder, then you put it into these little packets, then you do this hydraulic juicing. I put my hand here because sometimes the hydraulic will cause like little tears in the packets. And the packets were just made from some sheets that I cut up. And this makes it so that the juice itself is completely strained. And not only that, it is by far the preeminent cold pressed juice that you can possibly do. The Gerson therapy says that they only recommend the Norwalk juicer or something that's just exactly like it, which is called the Pure Juicer, P-U-R. And we wanted one so bad, but we just didn't have the money for it. How much are they new, Lover?
The cheapest, I believe, is $1,500, but you can pay as much as $3, I think.
Yeah, there was no way we could. Like the Tri-Best, I think the Tri-Best was $700 new, but we looked on Craigslist and we got it for $250. And we're just like so grateful for juicing. And we've done a lot of juicing in our life, but we weren't doing it so much when we first got here to Oregon, because it's really difficult to get to the store, and it's expensive also to get to the store, because even though we're in Oregon and you would think that the prices would be a lot cheaper in California, the gas prices are still pretty high. And we have a big Suburban now, so.
It's not a Suburban, it's...
And the Suburban costs, the gas costs quite a bit for it. Anyway, so we can only go once.
It's cheaper than California, $3.49 a gallon here for unleaded.
So we weren't doing a lot of juicing, but then when I got cancer, I fell back on like what I would do if I got cancer, and I started looking online for juicers, because the juicer that I had we accidentally dropped it on the floor, and it was just complete trash. So we didn't have a juicer for a long time. Then in the middle of all that craziness of getting the news that I had cancer and trying to parse out what to do, even in the intense fear that I was dealing with, because I was really fearful. I was watching some videos one night. We were watching Chris Beat Cancer on YouTube, and the testimonials of people that had chosen to do alternative therapies for cancer. And I just felt like the Holy Spirit said, go on Craigslist here in Oregon and see if somebody has a Norwalk juicer for sale. And I had been doing that, and the reason why it was like sort of a last ditch thing for me to do that again was because I've been doing that, and I realized people are not really selling them. You would think that in Oregon there'd be a lot of health food nuts, but there's really not. It's not at all like California is. So a lot of people don't have juicers. They've never even heard of any of this kind of stuff, and it's so foreign to them to do what we're doing. So we had looked around, and somebody had this juicer, and if you want to hear more of that story, see, I got some juice on my glasses when I did that. You can go to, I think you can go to maybe the first or the second video that I did about cancer on our channel, so I won't tell the whole story again. But this is our miracle juicer, and we have the tiniest little kitchen here. So let me just take this from Lover and show you like what our kitchen looks like. Like, there's Lover, and because remember this is like, Lover says it's a 428 square foot house. I don't think it is, but that's what he says. But we have this little tiny kitchen, and I have it set up like a Tetris almost, and just only the things that really matter. Like this station here, which is, we drink a lot of lemon juice. So we have our lemon juicer, we have our Norwalk juicer, and we have our Vitamix over here. And then because we're cooking food now, we have our Instapot. And this, of course, is our haberdashery that we've had for years and years, and it has in it our long-term food storage stuff. And so everything is pretty efficient here in our kitchen. And my aim is always to have juice made for us every day. So usually I make juice every other day. The Norwalk juicer does make it so that, because it stays good so long, it does make it so that I can actually have it for 4 days instead of just 2 days, but I still try to keep that 2-day rule with the juice. And right now I'm really focusing heavy on the carrot, apple, and ginger I make these I always make lemon ice cubes, and so I'll put these lemon ice cubes in it, and it gives it like a level of sweetness, and it takes the little bit of bitterness out of the carrots, because carrots can be a little tiny bit bitter. And even though I'm not doing like proper juice fasting right now, I am trying to make sure that we get as much like raw living food stuff through this method, because we don't have the ability to get to the store too much, so we use a lot of root vegetables. I know somebody had asked if we're still doing a raw living food diet, and it's just right now I haven't figured out how to do that, but I'm hoping that I will be able to do that sometime in the future. We don't get the kinds of fruits, obviously, that you can get so abundantly in Southern California. And of course, for people that are on a fixed income, you know that food is getting really super expensive. So right now, I'm doing a lot of root vegetables, and I'm growing a garden as well. And the gardening is way different in Oregon because we have seasons here. So I'm putting my garden to sleep right now, and even wondering if I'm going to grow garlic, because this is like when you start the garlic, but I'm just wondering if I'm even going to grow it, because we go through so much of it that it's almost better just to buy it. I always try to like keep that in mind, like what's the best thing that I can grow in that garden. So I have a lot of medicinal herbs that I'm growing, and greens and herbs for cooking and things like that. My garden is only really 2 years old, and the soil is not that good, so I have a lot of years to go to make this soil decent. It was really just a trash pile, literally, when we first moved here, because we live in a really poor neighborhood, and so there's lots of there's just basically a lot of trash. People don't really think about keeping their yards nice, or even picking up trash, or even picking up dog poop or anything like that. It's a very different way of living. So I'm doing my best to sort of bring in the knowledge that I have cultivated throughout the years, and incorporate it into our life, while at the same time being really frugal with our budget, and also continuing to build up our long-term food storage. And I haven't really learned how to can. I'm still not like in that mindset of canning things. Like a lot of people do. They do canning here, and I just I'm still pretty much like cooking and freezing things, or buying like lots of root vegetables or things that I can keep for a month in the refrigerator. And I'm not even using my dehydrator as much as I did when we were on a raw living food diet, although I still have my dehydrator. A lot of people around here have freeze dryers, which are extremely expensive, and you need special plumbing in order to have them in your home, from what I understand. But anyway, I just wanted to say we're so grateful for this Norwalk Juicer. I'll give you another look at it.